Poetry starts with like a story for me, like, yeah. Listen. What's the point of me being sick if my sickness doesn't give you wealth or health? Creativity was given by the creator to help people find light when times are dark, but the words I would spark would enslave more than the times of Rosa Parks. Okay, growing up in middle school, you know, like, I was kind of always like a mama's boy, and I always kind of liked girls, and then the best way to get to girls was poetry. So then, you know, it was roses are red, violets are blue, whatever I can do to get to you type of guy or whatever. So then, yeah, like, I was just do poetry first to get to girls, and then at one point, poetry became my way of expressing myself just in general. How does a poem, yes, poem, sorry, I don't know what poem is. How does a poem begin, sorry, I have a list, so sometimes words just don't flow out properly, like, I'm kidding. Okay, how does a poem start out for me? The poem, forget the word. I do poetry, but I can't say the word poem, oh my god. How does that thing start for me? It starts because, normally, like, I go through something, and then when I go through something, it kind of ponders on my mind, and I tell myself, yo, there was somebody going through the same thing that I just went through. Let me put it on paper. And what I go through always just invokes emotions out of me. So it's like, I'll go through something first, and then, boom. Never even knew I had to listen to somebody told me, and it's like going off now. Either way, pretty much, it was kind of hard, because at first I did music first, and then I did poetry. So then it's just like, I had such an issue with speaking. Cause like I was trying to make sense, but then people couldn't hear me. Like I could not record myself with a sound engineer in the studio, because people would always be like, "Yo, I hear so much saliva being spit while you're speaking." Honestly, having a lisp made it hard to speak, but like at one point, I really managed to control it in a better way. But sometimes it goes off, sometimes it doesn't. But at least now I'm able to be more clear as I speak. You know what I'm saying? To me, spoken word poetry is Floetry. If somebody has to take the time to insult how you look, chances are they don't even like how they look.
So what do you think the word Floetry means?
Floetry? Floetry?
Yeah.
Like something that sounds nice.
Floetry? Honestly, no clue.
The musical rhythm of water?
I think the word Floetry's kind of been out there. It's not too creative. It's just like flow and poetry mixed together. So yeah, I would say it best describes my poetry, because originally I was a rapper, and I'm still a rapper. Some people in my family are like 25, 30, like me trying to rap to them, they're not gonna really understand me or hear me. So sometimes I really gotta like break it down for them and really go slow with poetry. So, but to me, I'm still doing it with a rhythm. Different. See, in the present, we got rappers like Future, telling kids to mess up some commas and all types of trauma, which leads to all types of drama. Future, tell kids to save some money for their future. Dancing is like my joy. It makes me happy. It happens at any, like I dance literally all the time or whatever. The way I look at my dancing is me expressing words that I'm not able to say to a poem or a song at the current moment. For example, I do this thing called tutting and finger tutting and things along those lines. So to me, it's just like my body is like body language. So my body in itself is poetry, and my body in itself is rap, because my body in itself is art. So to me, I just relate to those by just saying that, yo, if I'm dancing, I'm speaking. You know what I'm saying? Don't think because I'm not saying the words, I'm not speaking. Dancing inspires me through the toughest times and situations in my life. Sometimes, you know, they say boys don't cry or whatever, things along those lines. So we're living in a generation that really doesn't allow men to be really emotional. But dancing was my #1 outlet, and it allowed me to cry, it allowed me to be happy. So dancing inspires me to just it helps me get through situations. And on top of that, like, it helps me, like, just, you know what I'm saying, for my own music as a performer. I'm saying it helps me be a better performer on stage and things along those lines. So I would say dance inspires everything, really. And I just hope to inspire like the youth for this generation and adults as well, to just let them know that like we were created for like a bigger purpose. I feel like our music, our art, we're just, you know what I'm saying?
I am more special than Trayvon. He's black, I'm black, we black, and we both young. But he cocked the bullet and I didn't. I live when I shouldn't, cause every day I sin. And the cost of sin is death. But you let Christ die on the cross. All for me, and I still don't seem to come close.
We're meant to be used to like help people when at their darkest moments, not give them more darker moments to, you know what I'm saying? Hold on to. Because like I said, sometimes if we listen to what we listen to without the beat, we wouldn't listen to it anymore. Because what they're actually saying is actually against us, it's not for us. I think poetry is an amazing thing. I think poetry is definitely needed. I think it's really relevant because there's a lot of conscious people, a lot of intelligent people, And people that quote unquote don't like rap, but it gives rappers a chance to talk to those who don't like rap through poetry. I think it's really relevant because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to do poetry and not be deep in a sense. Like, it's like if you do a poet, you kind of have to talk about something intelligent in a sense. So it kind of challenges you. So I would say poetry is really relevant to the world only because it challenges you to step it up a notch and talk about something with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? They asked me to speak with my lips and decided disrespecting my list. So I don't know, I don't understand this. And they just keep on laughing and laughing, making me cry and cry. I don't understand, I just want to die. Okay, I'm kidding. It's not that serious. I tell people all the time, yo, if you make me mad, I'm going to do a poem about you.